individuals in the state made history, driven by their commitment to making sure that our schools treat everyone fairly. Not only teachers and students, but bus drivers, food servers, and janitors, all of the vital support staff that make a school work. Working together, this group passed two crucial school policies. One policy to ban discrimination against school employees, and another to protect students from bullying and harassment. This made Salt Lake City the first school district in our state to have fully inclusive policies that protect not only gay and transgender students, but also extend employment protections and health care benefits to the partners of all faculty and staff. Recognizing the last recipient of this year's Allies for Equality Award, the Salt Lake City School Board.
My name is Elizabeth, and I'm the current board vice president of Salt Lake City School District Board of Education. And I ran for seat on the Board of Education because I thought it was really important to pay attention to all of the voices. My own children's school had been closed by the school board, and I felt that they didn't consider the right issues when making a decision.
And I woke up the next day so depressed and thought, you need to be the change. You've got to be the person to go out and make that difference. And so I ran for school board, never anticipating that I would win. It was more, we need to make a statement that people in the community are engaged.
Sometimes you come with specific issues, that you feel like you can champion on the Board of Education.
I was on the policy committee, so I was able to really address those things that felt important to me.
It's important to me as an adult working in education to model for the kids the values that we're trying to teach. So if we want kids to be kind, if we want them to be thoughtful, if we want them to be tolerant, if we want them to learn to love each other, we have to do that ourselves and show them how it's done. And part of that is in the recognized classes.
Salt Lake City has and I felt like the school district needed to do something similar.
And as the word got out, the Salt Lake District was talking about changing, what we call our G19 policy, which is our discrimination policy, and then also beefing up our bullying policy. There were two things that happened. First, there were people who were coming to our meetings and sharing those incredible stories. It was really quite amazing to build this building up of the neighborhood and of the city as we move forward. But on the flip side of it, we also got to hear, you need this because of these reasons. This is what happened in my job, or this is what I experienced as a teacher, and then, from my colleagues.
Unfortunately, there were a lot of suicides of gay youth that summer, and this is why this policy is so important to our students, because we shouldn't be losing students.
I had an employee come to me, a very valuable employee in our district, and she told me that she and her partner had been in California all summer looking at jobs there because they didn't have the protections and the feeling of being wanted and cared for here in Utah.
It was interesting as we discussed this amongst ourselves, that these stories that we were being told really did matter to the extent of making a major change in how we define discrimination in our district and how we dealt with bullying.
It gave me great respect for the process of working on the board. And it's hard to remember sometimes that it's okay for people to disagree. We have 7 members of the community elected to try to represent their communities and to build the best school system they can for the children of Salt Lake City. And we're not going to agree on every point, always. But we can reason with each other. We can talk to each other. And in the end, our good intentions, our kindness, our desire to do the right thing by the people of Salt Lake City will win out.
The reaction that we got was, again, really quite heartwarming. I had multiple phone calls and multiple emails from employees thanking us for just that simple thing of leading out as the first school district to do that. We knew that it was the right thing in the beginning, but then for them to come back and tell us thank you and to appreciate the months and months of conversations, actually a couple of years of conversations that we've been having around it, was very good.
Welcome to the stage, Salt Lake City School Board.
So anyway, I moved here with my wife to Utah over 20 years ago, 1992, and my dad gets a call from one of Robert Redford's people to come down and look around Sundance, and we're walking around Sundance, one of his peeps, dressed all in black, or in New York. They're showing us around, and we turn a corner, and suddenly we're in Robert Redford's office, and Robert Redford is standing up behind his desk saying, "Murray!" And my dad's going, "Bob!" And my dad thinks, Woody Allen looked hot. It was such cognitive dissonance. It was just such an odd thing. But I'm just always grateful to Robert Redford for welcoming us to Utah. So, Bob, if you're still around anywhere, my profound thanks. But on behalf of the entire board and the entire school district, we would like to thank Quality Utah for this wonderful award, which we probably would not have been able to be up here to accept without the help of many of you in this audience that provided us the information we needed, that elected over a long time the right people to office, so that we finally have enough people on the Board of Education to be the first Board of Education in Utah to offer equality to the LGBT community. This year we vote on our policies and revise them after our policy committee visits were about every 2 years. And it really took a load of election cycles. Every 2 years we would have the battle. I would just count how many times I could say the words gay or lesbian in a school board meeting, just keeping a little tally, because I wasn't going to win. We weren't going to win until we had the right people on the board, and finally we did. And thank you very much for letting me. The fight's not totally over. Actually, our policy has already had its first challenge. Earlier in the year, one principal at one of our elementary schools told a scout troop that he wasn't sure they should be meeting at their school because actually their rules did violate this non-discrimination policy. And I was really proud that he said that. One of the new school board members that was just elected this year did not like that. He is not here tonight, not surprisingly, and he filed a complaint with the Office of Civil Rights in Denver over this. Now, I am happy to say things are settling down. I don't think there'll be a big problem because of this, But I mention this only to say that the fight isn't over once we add words to a policy. We have to stand behind it. And I'm very proud that so many people on the Board of Education and our superintendent stood behind this principal, and were very glad that he had questioned and asked the questions that he did. So other people probably want to say a few things, but on behalf of the Board of Education, the members at the time that we passed the policy and the principals, thank you very much.
I just want to leave you with a few words that despite the challenge that we've already had to the policy, and despite the challenges that we had in passing the policy, it was worth it. And if we had to, we would do it all over again. We want to collectively urge all of you to contact your local school board, whether it's in the district in which you reside now or the district that you grew up in. Tell them your stories. Urge them to pass these same protections for their students, their staff, and their families. Remind them that doing the right thing is always the right thing to do.
We're very grateful to you for this award and for standing behind us and with us as we move forward to make it a reality for all of our employees and students going forward. Thank you.
Oh my God. Chew the back, chew the back, chew the back.